What's up, guys? Last week I showed you how to send and sign your real estate purchase and sale agreement for free. Now that you have the property under contract, let's take a look at how you can get this deal closed fast and easy using fake cash buyers. Now, if you're familiar with the movement, you know that I speak from personal experience, which is why it was a bit challenging for me to create the concept of this video, because it's easy for me to show you guys how to find cash buyers using PropStream or contact a realtor who sold a recent flip on Zillow, or even skip trace the owner of an LLC who just closed a recent cash transaction based off county record. The only problem is, this isn't how I started my career. See, when I first started wholesaling, I began by looking for the best deal versus looking for buyers and building a buyers list and then finding deals according to their needs. For better or for worse, this resulted in me locking a lot of properties under contract and then canceling them within my 30-day inspection period because I didn't find a buyer who was actually interested in the deal or a buyer at all. At first, I was confused. I was wondering if the deals I were bringing to the table were bad or if I just wasn't finding the right buyer for that deal. Later, I found out that both ideas were true. So after about 3 months of consistently getting properties under contract, then marketing them on Facebook or Craigslist, I began to notice the only interest I got was from fake buyers, meaning wholesalers that probably had an established buyers list, but more often than not, they were new wholesalers who were just looking for a lazy way to find a deal. Once I discovered that these social media and Craigslist posts led to a couple of my deals being daisy chained, I instantly stopped. In case you aren't familiar, daisy chaining is when one wholesaler gets a deal, send it to another wholesaler, that other wholesaler puts his assignment fee on top of the asking price, and then the cycle can just repeat and repeat. One time I got a deal at $15,000, put it out there, asking price at $20,000. A week later, I saw a post for my deal, the same pictures, the same caption, everything. The only thing that was different is the asking price was now $40,000 instead of $20,000 from a wholesaler I've never met. As a 20-year-old kid at the time, green behind the ears when it came to this jungle of a wholesaling business, I was puzzled and discouraged, to say the least. Then, being the YouTube scholar that I am, I got my plaque for YouTube University, I actually came across a video from a guy by the name of Brent Daniels. He created a video explaining how to close deals quickly in your city for free using other wholesalers as the buyers, but not just any other wholesaler, right? Remember I told you there were two kind of fake cash buyers, if you will. There's the wholesalers who are just lazy, daisy chaining, looking for an easy deal. And there's also your more established wholesalers who have a large buyers list, but they don't have enough properties. So he went into detail on how to differentiate between the two. So I'm going to show you guys that technique, but more importantly, I want to cover with you the mindset of when you're dealing with other wholesalers and how that process really turns out, more than the technique itself, because that is pretty simple. So let's get right into it. First, the reason why it's a good idea to actually send your wholesale deal to another wholesaler who has a large buyers list is because you will be able to go 50-50, you'll be able to go 50-50 with the commission split, and also you'll get it sold quickly. And more importantly, you may be able to soak up some information and that'll save you time. So instead of you wondering if it's a deal or not, you'll be able to go to this other wholesaler who's more established, and they will be able to tell you, for one, if it's a deal, and for two, they'll let you know that they can get it sold within often 2 weeks. Now, I know that sounds good. They can get it sold quickly, but obviously you don't want to split your commission 50-50. If you're like me, I was focused on how to get the whole slice of the pie myself. But you have to be patient because that all came in time. Why it worked for me is because I was able to reverse engineer that process right there within my first year by actually working with the other wholesalers, but then being able to go back around and make a connection with that buyer who bought the property, which put me in a position to put the other wholesaler out of the picture the next go around. But in the meantime, I worked and I built my database, and I was able to maintain a long relationship with the other wholesalers that I was working with. But make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell, because in Steps to Success episode number 4, I'm going to give you guys a deeper look into my real estate journey so far, and maybe that'll give you more perspective on where I'm at and more perspective on maybe where you're at. But to get back to it, one main thing I want to express to you guys and let you know is just because you're working with a wholesaler who may have more buyers than you and they may have more resources to you, it doesn't mean that they're any more qualified for the job than you. So don't forget that the deal is still your deal and you still have the duty ultimately to get that property sold to that seller. So what you have to do is make sure you control the deal all the way through, from the point of getting it to the other wholesaler and also to the point of the deal being closed. And the way you do that is you do not give the other wholesaler an inspection period. So what's going to happen is when you fill out the form and you show the other wholesaler, the deal, and you speak with them, they're going to either do one of two things, right? For one, either they're going to be honest and they're going to say, hey, I'm actually a wholesaler and we're going to split this deal 50-50 and I have a buyer who can close it out. Or they're going to do something else, which if they do this, it's a big red flag. But it does not mean that you won't work with them. But if they say, hey, I have this deal and I like the deal, I want to get it closed out, but I need a 5-day inspection period, a 10-day inspection period, a 1-day inspection period. Whatever that inspection period is, guys, I would highly advise against it, because at that point right there, you no longer control the deal. Now you're at the mercy of them because you're contractually obligated to fulfill that inspection time frame to that one single wholesaler who's not even expressing to you that they are a wholesaler. They're lying to you and saying that they're a buyer. So that's the main thing you have to look out for when doing this technique that I'm going to show you here in a second. But again, you get around that by simply do not give them an inspection period. If they like the deal, then they'll have a buyer and they'll bring it to the table, and then that'll be it. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys how to complete this technique.
First thing we need to do is go to Google and Google Sell My House Fast Cincinnati. As you see, you'll have a whole bunch of, we buy houses, and all these top wholesalers in your city will pop up, whether it's Cincinnati or any city that you're in. We won't click on their ads because we'll be spending their ad dollars, but we'll go ahead and click on this right here. Let's give Ohio Real Estate, guys. All right. Click on them. And, guys, when you get here, you can click on any one of them. Click on all of them. The more options. Okay, they're doing a lot right here. I won't do all this. Make it simple. We'll go ahead and go to the Ohio Cash Buyer site. We'll enter their information, their address. We'll go to 677 all right. There we go. All righty. And then from here, we'll go ahead and go with click your phone number and your email, and you'll click get my cash offer. One thing, guys, if you don't take anything else away from this technique, make sure you take this with you, is do not give them for any reason how much you have the property under contract for. It's not their business. Only thing they need to know is how much you want to sell it for, not how much you got it with the seller for. All right. And you can also just give them a call by, pressing these two numbers. From here, they're going to want more information. So you'll put your first name, last name, and you have your information right here. So first name, D, card attached. Put some information about the property. Let's say the property's in poor condition, needs $50K in repairs. And then you'll put your pictures. If you have a link to some pictures, maybe put that right there. You'll say, yes, it's owner occupied. And just keep that, yes, your situation. Then you just say, looking to sell fast. And you're not a robot, right? So since that's the case, you click that. And the good thing is, this is literally a rinse and repeat process from here. You press. So I guess Safra Street isn't a thing or something. I don't know. All right, guys, here we go. You're not a robot. Oh. taking us all the way through it today, huh? These things are getting longer every time. Can that be it? There it is. Thanks. So what's next? So they'll be giving you a call within 24 hours. And that's it, guys. Rinse and repeat. You go on and you'll have, 5 wholesalers who's working and sending your deal to their buyers. And you still get to sit back and, collect your 50% of the assignment fee once the property is sold.
Voila. Now that you just saw that part, you may be wondering is it really that simple for me to just go online, type in some things, and have a buyer calling me right away? Obviously, it's going to be a wholesaler, so it's not technically a buyer calling you right away, but yes, it really is that simple. These are some of the top wholesalers in your city for a reason. With that being said, they're most likely going to be giving you a call within the next 24 to 48 hours to get more details about the property. And just remember, when you're given more details, be transparent. Let them know that you are a wholesaler, you're wholesaling the property. Don't try to act like you're an owner of the property or anything like that. So with you being honest, you're automatically setting the foundation of how you hope that relationship can go ahead and turn out in the long run, for it to be an honest relationship and not, people lying right from the start, because that can get a bad taste in your mouth. But one thing I want to let you know, though, ultimately where the money comes from doesn't matter, as long as the check clears and everyone gets paid. There were several times where I closed hefty deals and still left meat on the bone, but that's the nature of the jungle when you're getting started. Ultimately, where the money comes from doesn't matter, as long as the check clears and everyone gets paid. There were several times where I closed hefty deals and still left meat on the bone, but that's the nature of the jungle when you're first getting started. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love by liking, subscribing, and definitely hit that notification bell. Steps to Success, episode 4, my real estate journey so far, that'll be coming at you before the end of this new year, so we can get the new year started on a new track. Thanks again for your time. One last thing, if you're in the Cincinnati area and you are having trouble getting those deals closed, go ahead and hit me up. I now have a very established buyers list, so I would definitely be happy to help you for, a 50-50 commission split. You can reach me either down below, comment, or you can go ahead and reach me on social media, and I'll put the links to my social media platforms below.